As a kid, you probably noticed those little grayish white rock things on the beach that seem so insignificant. But did you know that these things called barnacles are actually living organisms? Barnacles are immobile organisms that live in the intertidal zone. Barnacles actually start life as larvae, also known as cyprids, that swim freely in the water. The way these cyprids are formed is more interesting than you might think.
Finding a mate is hard enough when you can move, but can you imagine mating while cemented to a rock? Barnacles manage to copulate with their mate with the help of their highly evolved penises that can stretch up to 8 times their bodies. Even though barnacles have the largest penis to body size ratio of the animal kingdom, most barnacles also have female parts, which makes them hermaphrodites. Barnacles are unable to self-fertilize, which makes it necessary for them to find a mate. The ovaries of the barnacles are located in the base of the barnacles and may extend into the mantle. The testes are towards the back of the head and extend into the thorax. The mating process starts in September when barnacles rapidly grow their penises to get ready to mate in November. In calm waters, barnacles are able to grow long, flexible penises to meet as many potential mates as possible, while in rough waters, they are better off growing short, thicker penises to withstand the pressure of the waves. These penises are actually tubes carrying sperm to a nearby barnacle to fertilize their female parts. In addition to physical coupling, some barnacles may use sperm casting, in which the male casts sperm into the water for females to pick up and use to fertilize their eggs.
Once the female barnacles are fertilized, they brood their eggs until they hatch into a minute nauplius larva. The larva undergoes 6 months of growth before transforming into the cyprid stage. This is the last larva stage, in which it looks for a suitable place to attach itself onto. With the help of modified antennules and a secreted glycoproteinous substance, it finds a suitable spot and then attaches its head first onto its selected substrate. They select a spot to attach to based on surface texture, chemistry, color, and the presence, absence, and composition of the surface biofilm. According to a recent study, the cyprid secretes proteinaceous underwater adhesive, which is a novel protein made of 993 amino acid residues, including a single peptide, to cement themselves to their selected substrate. The antennule gland is what secretes this glue-like substance. When it's finally attached to its substrate, it undergoes metamorphosis to form an adult barnacle. The outside shells are usually made of 6 constructive plates. These shells are made of chitin, a polysaccharide which is also what lobsters and crabs are made of, because they're all crustaceans.
Blue mussels are competitors for space and can smother barnacles. Seaweed can also overpower a colony of barnacles. Whelks, which are snails, are the only predators that can eat barnacles. Barnacles are only able to eat when the tide comes in, because their food source, which is plankton, live in the water. Barnacles are able to eat through 6 pairs of feather-like feeding appendages that are called cirri. The cirri are their feet. This means they eat with their feet. Barnacles use these cirri by sifting them through the water and using the sensory hairs to detect plankton. To feed, the barnacles need the tide to come in. Then they open up 4 plates of their shell to let the cirri out, so they can swift through the water for plankton. When the plankton is detected, the cirri pulls the plankton down to its mouth and eats. Barnacles produce a rhythmic crackling sound when their chitinous fringed body appendages scrape on the calcareous shells during feeding. This noise is similar to the pop heard with Rice Krispies. Here are some fun facts about barnacles.
Barnacles don't have a true heart, but rather a sinus close to the esophagus that pumps blood by a series of muscles.
Adult barnacles have a single eye that only senses the difference between light and dark.
Unlike other crustaceans, barnacles do not have gills. They instead breathe by absorbing oxygen from the water through the inner membrane of their carapace.
Next time you go to the beach, make sure to watch your step for these living, breathing organisms.
Oh, look, barnacles!